Yeah, music and things like that is very impressionable. There's other factors as far as that go, the hood and all that shit. Because if you take away the music, you still have other things that influence the mind. So it's more than
Hmm.
just the music, right?
For sure.
Um, but music and specifically has like I can't listen to the things that I used to listen to anymore. Like I don't even like if anybody know me. Jeezy was my that was the soundtrack to my life at one
Yep.
point. I can't listen to it now.
Yep.
Um, and even if you remember that era, right? Everybody was trap, hustle, 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 hustle. The music was hustle, so everybody was hustling, right? Hustle, get your money, hustle, hustle, hustle. Now the music is sell drugs, kill, not sell drugs, do drugs, pop pills, and uh, pop pills and carry
I
guns, and
I
and
didn't
and
even think about that.
if you
I
think
didn't.
about if
Yeah,
you think about
the shift.
the shift and remember, think about the guys 15 years ago were about hustling and making money, and that's not a good thing, but that's what the generation was. That's what we want. We didn't give a fuck about getting high and doing all that dumb shit, and we was trying to get money because that's where the music was taking us.
Yeah.
Now we a lot. There will be people that still engaged in that if you take away the music because that element has been in poverty environments before
Hmm.
rap music ever even came into play.
Yes.
But it contributed to a lot more people who wouldn't have never went down that route. The music had an influence on it. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If you look at the kids now, all of them drug addicts. They all high. They all take Percocets. They all fucking drink lean and all of this shit. And they all
Hmm.
wear tight guns with big, long, extended clips in their Glocks with switches on them. All of them doing that, right? We wasn't doing that. We was all hustling and trying to get birds and, you know, trying to drive fly shit. But that's where the music took us. So music has a lot to do with the way you think. And it's not only music, it's the shit you watch, shit you pay
Yeah.
attention to.
Yes.
And I need to get better at that about social media because I'd be on social media like a motherfucker. Just even
I
not
have.
even posting, but just scrolling.
Mhm. I have
Right.
a module in the course talking about detoxify yourself from all negative
Yeah.
media sources. I don't even watch horror movies, but if I do, after I watch it, I know I'm like mentally prepared to detox from it. Because
Right.
putting that shit in your mind, murder, violence, death,
Yeah.
human suffering, like
Yeah,
you don't
man.
everything. It's not
I used
it's
to
not okay.
when I came home from prison, right? This was when first 48 was like getting popular. Like I would like watch it because everybody like, oh, you need to watch 48 and the first 48. That shit drove me crazy, man. Watching that shit, like every car, you got to watch every car. And this was I was in the life too, so it's like it made it 100 times worse. I'm
Mm.
looking out of my window. I can't trust this person. I can't trust this, but and I realized it's because of this fucking show. And when I stopped watching that fucking show, I stopped being as paranoid about that. I
Mm.
always thought somebody was out to get me because I was watching that fucking show all the fucking time. So yeah, that shit has a big influence on
Mm.
your life. That's why I could never listen to simp music. I could never listen to it. I could never like
Dude, let me ask you this. How much do you think, because you and I, you're 37, I'm 36.
uh-huh.
You've seen this massive wave of simpery come over America.
Uh-huh.
I swear to God, Drake's music has had a big, big, big
Of
impact on
course.
that.
Of course. Cause you remember when bitches wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, and
Yep.
that's what it was. And man, that's what we treated them like. No tricking. I never give a bitch shit. Now it's
You used to call me on your cell phone.
so and it's the dominant shit. See, back then you had simp shit, but you had other shit to wash it out.
Yeah.
So you might have the simpy R&B shit, but then you had Snoop Dogg and Tupac.
Yep.
So now it's just all like none of these guys are talking coming from a game perspective. Like
Mhm.
this is how you get down with the hoes. This is how you are. Back then, everybody was on some too short shit,
Yep.
and their
Project
music,
Pat, make
Project
money,
Pat,
get fucked up, treat women like
right.
trash.
So it's like
Ugh.
Drake comes, is a whole like now these guys see you hear us and we say no tricking, no tricking, no tricking, but the average majority of men don't feel like that, especially out here. These young kids, they buying chicks, it's crazy. So it's the music, man. Music has a lot to do with it, and again, social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to be
everywhere.
careful what you got to be careful what you listening to. It'll keep you
Mm-hmm.
stuck. Again, now, just because you change they say you poor. Just because you changing your music alone is not going to fix your situation. So don't think because I'm poor, let me just stop listening to rap and put on some classical shit. It's not going. But it has a lot to do with the decisions that you're making. And once you
Mm-hmm.
change that, you may start to feel a little better. You may start to, and that may drive you to do something else,
Yeah.
other than what you're doing.
Yep.
So that's why I like music like Nipsey Hussle and shit like that, because it's more. He was a gang member and shit like that, but his music was a lot more positive. About
Yeah.
doing something, building something, making it out. Fixing your community and shit.
That's probably why they killed him.
Yeah, you got people who, like they say, your Bible says don't cast your pearls to swine.
Yeah.
Right. So here you have a person who's trying to, which was probably an inner game thing too, because why do you even want to be attached to such negativity? Right.
Mm.
Even if you come from it, you love it, it's cool, but like why? His little plaza he owned that was there every day was like in the middle of gangs, at the middle of the heart of it, where his enemies is across the street and shit like that. So,
Mhm.
but he was killed by somebody in his own
Mm.
circle. But, you like you say, that's why it's I don't think it's like the government has something. I don't think it's that, but it's just the people you're
I
around
do.
that you think so. Now I
Yeah.
know it came out that he was being targeted by the LAPD and shit like that. But
Yeah.
I
Dude,
know
it's
I know
powerful. It
being from that world how much people are haters. Like the
Yeah.
guys that you come up with, like they're waiting for any little reason to chip you off. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then you trying to help them, and you trying to break bread with them. And the minute you say something they don't like, they coming back and smoking you. Like I know that. So it's hard for me. I know that could be a thing, but I know like hearing the story from people that's out that way, because I know people that's out that way. It makes sense to me because I come from that same world where I
Mhm.
know people that's just like that can't wait for you to even look at them wrong. And you
Yeah.
can grew up with them. But just because you made it out, they willing to take you and
Yeah.
do anything, But there's a lot of times too where you got the police that, the police snatch you up. Hey, listen, you want to, you're already fighting this shit over here. We
Mhm.
got you on a couple bodies from 2 years ago. This is what I need you to do.
Yep.
Just like the movie Belly. I don't know if you ever seen that movie from the
Of
90s
course.
with Nas and DMX. It did the same thing with DMX's character. Hey, listen, we need you to go do this to this person, or your ass is over. We're gonna lock you up for the rest of your life. That happens too.